I said here in these slides where this is explained.
Mm-hmm.
So rather than saying in words, I do it in a table. So it means that A cells express A specific genes. Okay, so which are here, plus.
Mm-hmm.
They do not express alpha specific gene. Even though they have them, they do not express them. And they express haploid specific genes.
Okay.
And they cannot undergo meiosis. Okay, and alpha cells do not express A specific genes, even though they have them,
Mm-hmm.
and they express alpha specific genes. They express haploid specific genes, and they cannot undergo meiosis.
Okay.
And then A alpha cells do not express A specific genes, do not express alpha specific genes, do not express haploid specific genes, but can undergo meiosis. Okay, and then the A and alpha specific genes refer to receptor and pheromone genes. That's A specific genes, and then alpha specific genes refers to the specific pheromone and receptor present in the cells. Haploid specific genes are a different thing. They are not alpha specific genes or A specific genes.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so that's what this table is summarizing in symbols, what I say in the previous slides, in all of these slides here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And
it's also, so it's also summarized here. Okay, so that alpha cells express alpha specific genes, and it tells you here what are the alpha specific genes, and they do not express A specific genes, and they express haploid specific genes. So this is a summary of the mechanism, and the other one was a table simply stating the observations. Okay.
oh, okay. Okay. And also slide 19 and 20, I guess.
Okay. 19 and 20.
Just
This one.
yes. Oh no, not this. Yeah, this one.
Okay. Okay, so the MAT alpha allele has two genes, and they are called alpha 1 and alpha 2. Okay, so let's concentrate on this one. They both code for regulatory proteins. That means proteins that either bind DNA or help RNA polymerase or repress transcription. So alpha 1 binds to a site. So here, alpha specific gene means, there's alpha specific gene 1 and 2 and 3, and they are located on different chromosomes. Okay? They are not at the MAT locus, they are somewhere in the genome. So the product of this gene is the alpha 1 protein that binds here and helps RNA polymerase transcribe these genes. Okay, so if you do not have alpha 1, you do not transcribe these genes. RNA polymerase needs alpha 1 for that.
Oh,
okay? Okay, and then that's talking about alpha 1. Let's see what alpha 2 does. Okay. Alpha 2 is a repressor, codes for a repressor protein. So in front of A specific genes, so these are A specific genes on different chromosomes, 1, 2, 3, and there are others. And so each of these genes has an operator site and a promoter. And then alpha 2 binds to the operator site and blocks RNA polymerase from binding to the promoter. So that's what it means. It is not binding to the promoter, it's just binding to the operator, but blocks RNA polymerase from binding there. So it is a repressor of a specific gene. So the MAT alpha allele, you have two genes. One is an activator, and the other is a repressor, but of different sets of genes,
Oh,
right? So you have alpha 1 is an activator of alpha specific genes. Alpha 2 is a repressor of A specific genes.
oh.
So this shows why in alpha cells you have alpha specific genes, but not A specific genes.
Mm. Okay.
Okay?
Mhm.
So, and you said you wanted, so that is 20, right?
Yeah, yeah, that's all I need.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Mhm.
Okay. Thank you, Professor.
Yeah, and then to make this story complete, you have the A allele, which has one gene, A1, but this gene doesn't play a role here. So you have the A specific gene. Remember, these were repressed in the alpha cell, but now we are in an A cell. You do not have the alpha 2 repressor. So here is the operator site, but it's because you don't have the repressor, RNA polymerase is very happy to bind here and start transcribing. And so the genes are transcribed because alpha 2 repressor is not present. This gene doesn't have anything to do with the expression of these genes.
Oh, okay.
It is necessary only in the diploid cell. Okay. So as you see, as you go through that, you will understand, pardon me, you start to understand a little better this table.
Oh.
Okay, this table is summarizing observations, yeah. Okay, so let's look at the A alpha. So the A alpha diploid, so remember you have the alpha allele, but the alpha allele has two genes, and the A allele has one gene. So now in this cell, A1, so the product of this gene and the product of alpha 2 come together and they form a new protein. It's a heterodimer because it's hetero means different, dimer two proteins. And this because these are different proteins, so they come together and they form a new activity, and this is a repressor. And the repressor activity of this is different than that of alpha 2. So this combinatorial activity binds to operator sites in front of alpha 1, this gene here at the MAT locus. Okay, so this will bind to alpha 1. So alpha 1 has this is a composite operator site. It has two parts. A part for binding of A1, a part for binding alpha 2. So you have two is like bipartite. Okay, and then you also have haploid specific genes. They have this dual operator. So this repressor binds here, so it represses alpha 1. So if you're repressing alpha 1, then you cannot express alpha specific genes. So that's why the A alpha diploid cannot produce pheromones and receptor for A. Now you have alpha 2 that by itself is going to repress the A specific genes, right? So you don't, because you don't have alpha 1, you do not express alpha specific genes. Alpha 2 represses A specific genes. And because you have A1 alpha 2, you do not have haploid specific genes. Okay, so that is all come together in this grand summary where you have A1 alpha 2 is repressing, that symbol means repression of alpha 1. If you don't have alpha 1, you cannot turn these genes on, so they are off. And you have alpha 2 by itself will repress the A specific genes, so they are off. And this new heterodimer also represses haploid specific genes, so they are off. Okay?
Okay.
Is that clear?
Yes. Thank you.
Okay.